Hello, how are you? So, what are we going to talk about today? Oh, jeez. Had all these things in the back of my mind that it's like, I'm going to make a video and update the audience and stuff, and it's like, don't even know now. So yeah, anyway, the last video on my channel was the importance of a skeptical mind in the world of coronavirus. Because, that's like bad word to say now, because YouTube, with the old monetization. Boy, is it cold, isn't it? Ooh, geez, for you North Americans, we're having a cold winter down here. Anyway, so coronavirus. I've stopped watching the news. I don't know how else to say it. The coronavirus come, and we had, for you guys who are not in New Zealand, we had 5 weeks of lockdown, and then, what was it, like 3 weeks of level 3, which is like some businesses open, just a few, and then you had like 4 weeks of level 2, I think it was 4, and then we're just a few more open, but you still got the social distancing, and you got the hand washing, sign in and sign out, contact tracing, and finally we just got to level 1 now. So like level 1 is like pretty much back to normal, but still with border controls, right? Because it was unfortunately all those bloody tourists that, not just tourists, but people from overseas brought all the coronavirus here, as was always going to be the case. And you know how they were saying, like, it's okay to not be okay? Like, I wasn't doing quite so bad during the lockdown, and fortunately, I've come through it relatively unscathed. There was talk that some units within the city council could be, targeted for, reduce the staff numbers, redundancies and stuff. Luckily, we've come through that all right, and we're just ramping back up to regular work, regular work now. And yeah, but just with some of the other things that are going on in the world right now, it's like my mental health has taken a little bit of a, I don't know what the word is, nosedive. It's just been, I wouldn't say nosedive, I wouldn't even say depression. It's just like, I'm having a hard time dealing with particularly this madness that's going on in America right now, right? So, let's not talk about it too much, right? So this video comes out, I'll talk about it for a couple of minutes. This video comes out, and it's a video of a police officer putting his knee on somebody, and then the person dies, all right? And so suddenly the immediate response to that is like it was a racist murder, right? That's what people jump to. They go straight from, like reaction to like action, to straight to jump to this conclusion, right? It was racist murder, based on what you can see in the video, right? Or what? Let me put it the other way. What you think you're seeing in the video, and so there's riots, and there's looting, and there's protests, and people with the banners out there, the Black Lives Matter. And look, I'm not one to say don't protest, or you can't protest, or you shouldn't protest. That's fine. America has freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, and you can protest, and all that stuff is good. But nobody in their right mind thinks that it's okay for people to go out and set fires and tip cars over and loot stores and set police stations on fire and assault people in the street. Nobody thinks it's okay to commit crimes commit crimes because you're upset about something you see in the news. And the media in America hasn't been doing very well of it either. I mean, they just feed into it. Some of the media agencies they literally feed it, like to sell newspapers. CBS put out an article, I think the title was, it was in relation to a altercation between a shopkeeper and a person during the looting, and I think the title read something like, "White man shoots black looter while defending store, he won't face charges." If I recall correctly, that was like what the title of the news article was, which is just total race baiting. You know, why would you put skin colour and, you know, a presumed conclusion into the title of an article? You know, and it literally incites violence and hatred, and it makes things worse. Anyway, this freaking video of this guy getting pinned down. There are so many things that you don't know around the surrounding circumstances of it. So that's what just drives my head in. Drives my fucking head in, just these people, these people that are just jumping to the conclusion that it's racist murder. Alright? Like, I mean, first of all, before you even look at all of the things, do you honestly believe that somebody is going to commit a murder in front of a crowd of people where there's video cameras, cell phones recording you? Do you really want to commit a murder in front of cell phones? Just think about that one just for a second. But there's so many other factors that people don't even think about, you know, because, you know, oh, well, we've seen the video, so therefore we know everything. Some of these factors, like the autopsy results, you got two different autopsies. One says that it was died from asphyxia. Another one says he died from underlying health conditions. So these questions have to be asked and answered in court. All of these questions. And the other questions. So why did the officer use that particular technique? Was the officer instructed that this technique was safe? What about the other officers? What were the other officers saying to the main officer at the time that it was happening? What happened with regards to George Floyd resisting arrest? That was supposedly caught on, you know, one of the cameras. To what degree did that happen? Were threats made? Did George Floyd have coronavirus? Did he lie and say that he had coronavirus when he didn't? Did he threaten to spit on the officers and said that he had HIV? Because these are important questions to ask, because these are some things that criminals will do. You know, when they're against a police officer being apprehended, being restrained, etc., etc., etc. And these things can have an effect then on how you're going to restrain the person. Now, I'm not an expert on any of this, but I understand the basic concept, the basic principle, that in a court of law, that's the idea. You ask all the questions and you hopefully get all the answers. And then you have smart, impartial people like a judge and a jury, get to decide what really happened. You know, just because the media creates a race baiting article and you see people with banners that say Black Lives Matter, and you see a video that you think is a murder, doesn't mean that it's true. Enough of that. So, if it's not George Floyd, it's bloody coronavirus. You know, thank goodness we're at the tail end of that too, coronavirus, because fuck's sakes, you know, people were just, and even now we're still not really at the end of it either. You know, the information reporting on coronavirus was so poor, just people, you know, in countries that aren't doing testing or not doing enough testing, and you don't even know what the hell is really going on. And so the numbers that get reported in the media don't have a lot of value to them. Anyway, thank goodness we appear to be into the tail end of it, of coronavirus. As the Prime Minister said today, I'm sure there will likely be coronavirus in New Zealand again. You know, it's just a case of when that's going to be and how we're going to deal with that when that happens. Anyway, all these things have been really doing my head in recently, and I've not been wanting to make videos, to be honest with you. But I'm still here. Things are still ticking along. Cleaned out the car recently because it stunk inside. Had a residual smell from from the diving back in March, and it took me ages to clean out the car. Tidied up the property a little bit, picked up all the bamboo, cabbage tree leaves. Yeah, just been looking after the house mainly. So, you know, did that in lockdown. But I'm really looking forward to springtime, and I know that springtime is like 3 months away. But it's funny, you know, that you get to the end of this coronavirus thing, and the government starts saying to you, well, since we don't have tourists in the country, why don't you all be a tourist within your own country and start seeing New Zealand? You know, go somewhere in New Zealand that you haven't been before and spend the money, support the economy. And it's like, bitch, I've already been doing that shit for years. Haven't you watched my channel? Y2J does Asia and why in the world? I've been traveling around New Zealand for fucking years. Spending money here for years. Because I'm appreciative and I realise what we have here. And I like to see it, I like to spend time in it. So it's like, come on Jacinda, don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing. In case it's not obvious, I'm not really a fan of our Prime Minister. She's done some things, and the Labour Party's done some things that I'm not really very impressed with. To be honest, I don't even know who I'm going to vote for in the next election. I'm so undecided about that. But that's a video for another time, because if I started talking about politics right now, this 15-minute video would go on to be like an hour. And you don't want to sit down listening to that shit for an hour. Right, that just about does it. Those are some rambling musings, my little update video. I hate doing these little talk update videos because there's very little value to them, but sometimes, you know, I need to get it out, and you know, and you guys are probably interested about what's happening, you know, in my life a little bit, you know, every now and again. So yeah, but come springtime and summertime, more diving is definitely going to be a thing. You know, I had a lot of fun last summer. I didn't make many videos, I only made like 3 videos, but I had a lot of fun last summer with diving for power, and that's going to be a thing that I do again next spring and next summer. So, you know, I'll even put in a wee bit of effort to show you some more of the failures, you know, because a lot of times you get all the gear on, you do the road trip, you go there, you get in the water, you swim, and you just don't find the power, you know, that, well, you find them and they're too small. It's unsuccessful. But I'm going to try to turn those unsuccessful power diving missions into some sort of a coherent, fun story, and then put that together, and then maybe you'll get a kick out of it. So we'll see what happens when the weather warms up. But right now, boy, it's fucking freezing cold, isn't it? All right, see you later.